We've landed here at 10,000 feet by this alpine lake, right below the summit of Borah Peak. Tomorrow we're planning on doing what's called the Dirty Traverse, and it basically goes up the face of this mountain directly behind me. We're not sure if it can actually be done with what we have with us, equipment-wise. It also looks terrifying from down here in the low light, but we're hoping that we can get up there and it won't be as bad as it seems. And we're gonna set up camp and just get ready for a short night and then wake up in the morning and get to it. Really cool place to land a helicopter and have a campsite. Really cool. These guys are struggling to put this tent up behind me. This is a 3-man tent, but it takes 2 men to set it up.
I'm thinking really that they go corner to corner.
Yeah, corner to corner, and then and they'll use this.
That's the cross in the middle.
These guys have been setting up the tent for a while. It's been their first serious challenge of the day. They're both in there trying to get the poles put in place. It looks like they've almost got it done.
I thought flying was the hard part.
Matt is in a negative 40-degree bag. He is going to roast in that bag. Christoph is already wrapped up. I think he may have fallen asleep the minute he laid down. We're gonna wake up at a leisurely hour. I would say sometime around 6:30. Hopefully we can climb it. We've all agreed that if it gets too much for any of us, we are willing to turn around and come right back down to the helicopter.
That wasn't a bad night. Not at all.
Did I scream last night or anything?
Oh my gosh, no, thank goodness. Matt's prone to night terrors, which means that if Matt has a night terror, everybody in the tent also has a night terror.
I couldn't sleep last night because I kept thinking of our route that we're doing, and usually on these camp out, when you know what the route is, you're just like, I know what we got to do in the morning, but I still can't see us doing this wall because it looks straight up. We have ropes. I don't know what we're gonna tie them to.
We're all packed up, ready to leave camp. I think all of us have doubts about this route. I think that we're looking at it right now, and from this perspective, it looks very difficult. There is a good chance we could get up to this first part and not even be able to climb it. The beta on this route didn't say you needed any specific gear. It said it was all class 4. I'm hoping that the guy who wrote the description was being honest and close to our level. We've struggled through this loose rock for a while now, but we're finally getting to the first climbable section of this route.
It's looking pretty gnarly, but the only way you're gonna find out is by just setting your feet on it and going slowly, just a little bit at each time.
All right, we carried the ice axes and the micro spikes for that. That's it. We're done with the snow. From here on out, it's rock and rubber. And hopefully it doesn't get any scarier than what I'm seeing, because this is all acceptable, the 30 yards I can actually see. We're at the Dirty Traverse, and as you can see, it's dirty, but it's walkable. So far, I think the biggest danger, other than tumbling thousands of feet down the hill, are all the little rocks we've been knocking onto each other. Matt has a helmet because he believes in safety first, but Christoph and I only have a small layer of fabric from our hats to protect us.
I have to say, up to this point, the mountain has been generous. So we're pretty optimistic we might be able to successfully complete the Mount Borah Dirty Traverse.
Now we're going to traverse across the east face to the ridge and hopefully things continue to go as smoothly as they have been going.
Still a little bit nervous about what I'm gonna find around the corner. This is crazy, how steep this is.
We've reached the second traverse that cuts right underneath the summit of Borah Peak.
Once again, we're all just looking at it like, are we really gonna be able to do this?
I honestly don't like it. It's okay right there. And maybe we come around the corner or something. I don't think you'd slide all the way out right here. I don't think it'd be fun, but I don't think you'd slide all the way down.
So we're gonna traverse underneath this last cliff band, and then hopefully find the chute that goes up to the summit, and should be a home run from there.
We've entered the last chute, and I think it's better than our expectations, but I think we're all relieved to be able to look up this and see that it's not beyond our capabilities. Hopefully we'll be on the summit in just a couple minutes.
We're on the summit of Borah Peak. There's a lot of loose rock. Right there at the end, Christoph took a rock straight to the body. Fortunately for us, that was the only rock to hit somebody. Cool route, dirty as described, but you can do it. I would give it a class 4 rating, so bravo to you, stranger.
I mean, from last night landing here, it was like a no way I'm doing that. That was mine. And then every corner we ran around, I'm like, that is surprisingly easy looking. So, I mean, the lesson to learn is don't ever make assumptions about a mountain. Sometimes they can be worse, but in this case, what looked impossible was very manageable.
All that's left to do now is we're gonna take the trail down to this saddle, then we're gonna drop off to the east, down into the valley, around the point of this mountain to the helicopter, and then fly out. The descent is supposedly awful, so we're all looking forward to that. I don't know how many stars this mountain got on Google, but it deserves every single one of them so far. That's Borah Peak via the Dirty Traverse. And once again, looking at it right now, even in the daylight, I can't believe we went up that. But it wasn't as bad as it seemed.
Not without its pucker factor and exciting moments, and it all made the trip worth it. I can't imagine a better way to come up here either. Absolutely amazing. Great day on the mountain.
It was easier than expected, which is always a good surprise.